board meeting or some kind of really important meeting where you're looking around and you're presenting, but you're going, nobody's paying attention to me. I've got a guy over there who's clicking his pen. I've got a gal over there who's doodling on a pad of paper. And I've got some other person sitting here in the center who's tapping out the piano concerto to Beethoven. Nobody's paying attention. Am I getting through? I'm here to tell you, most likely they are paying attention to you, and very closely. There are 7 learning styles that people have. And they can vary on how strong they are on many of them. But in school, most teachers teach to your audio-visual. They write something on the board, and they talk to you. Only roughly about 30% of the people in our society are audiovisual learners. We've all heard about ADD, ADHD kids who they're always bouncing up and down, and they can't sit still, so we drug them, and then they're like, yeah, I'm here. I don't understand a word you're saying, but I'm here. When they're bouncing, they are kinesthetic learners. For them to be learning, they have to physically be moving. So the guy that you have sitting there in the back of the office, clicking away on his pen, might not be writing a single thing down, but that clicking on the pen, with every click, he's taking information in. You're sitting there going, he's not listening because there's nothing going down on the paper. But if you were to quiz him, as you're sitting there clicking a pen, he could probably tell you verbatim back exactly what you just said. The gal that's sitting over there doodling beautiful artwork on her paper, not a single word's written down. And you're going, how can she be paying attention? Her mind's off at the museum. Every single piece of drawing on that piece of paper actually represents the ideas that you are trying to get across at the board meeting. It's not that she's not paying attention. She is receiving the information in the best way her brain can physically understand it. And if you were to sit there and look at her paper and point to a picture and say, what was I saying? She could probably verbatim, again, tell you back what you just said. But in our society, we're training people to just sit there and take it in and write. And as managers, people need to start understanding that people aren't just audio-visual learners. That we have this realm, this whole world of different learning styles, and learning doesn't just happen in the classroom. When you're having a board meeting, when you're talking to a customer, they are perceiving the information. They are learning about the information you want them to understand. So they're not being disrespectful to be sitting there and doodling a picture. Most engineers, you'll go and look at their pad of paper. The MBA managers will come in, look at their pad of paper and say, you didn't listen to a single word I said. And the engineer's sitting there looking at it going, I've been sitting here the entire time and the only thing I've been doing is listening to you. And the reason the MBA manager is so frustrated is there's not a single word done. But there's all these sign graphs and the whole new machine all drawn out on that pad of paper. Your guy that's sitting there typing out the piano concerto, he's most likely a musical learner. In order for him to learn, he has to have music. Things have to be done to some form of melody. And by having that piano concerto that even though it's driving everybody else in the room bananas, he's sitting there and he's taking in everything you're saying. And the more information you're giving him that he's perceiving, the faster you'll see that piano concerto speed up. And when he stops tapping, that's when he has actually signed out of the conversation. He's no longer perceiving anything you're telling him. Your interpersonal learners. That's the person who, when the manager is talking, the manager needs to be up close. And every once in a while, just come over, put the hand on the table, or put a hand on the shoulder, depending on the comfort level. And that person, they learn by how close people are to them. if they have somebody close to them, their brain is more engaged. Your intrapersonal learners learn best by being away from the crowd. You always have that one person in a business meeting where everybody's sitting there in a tight group and they're alone, their arms are crossed, they're in the back of the room standing with a foot up. If you bring them into the group, their brain's going to stop. So yes, they're looking disengaged from the conversation, but they are paying attention. And it is when they stop that learning model that they have actually disengaged. As managers, as people in our society who deal with others, we need to stop judging by our own personal learning styles and start helping those that we lead understand how to bring their personal learning styles into the meeting and be accepted by those around them. If you would like more information on this, please feel free to contact me.